Hello, good morning all. Today in this video we are going to discuss regarding how to create a form in Odoo website, and on clicking or submitting the form how to record the data into the Odoo backend. So already we have released a video in it, but it's done using a third-party module that is called website form builder. So in that module it was easy to create a form. Just we have to drag and drop something and it will automatically record the things in the Odoo backend. So in the most of the case, or in some case where there is some case where we have to define our own forms from the code, like we have to do it from our own templates and everything has to be done from the code itself. And some of the people already have asked in WhatsApp group as well as in comments how to do the same from coding side. So in this video we will discuss how to create a website form using code and how to submit the data and record it into the Odoo backend. So for illustrating this video, we have already created a form in the Odoo website. So currently in the screen you are seeing Odoo version 12 community edition. We have already installed our custom module, that is Odoo development tutorials module in the database. So here you can see we have got hospital menu. So yet if you haven't got this module, you can just go to the Odoo app store and search for Odoo development tutorials, or you can search OM hospital, so that you can get this module from the Odoo store or from our GitHub repository, that is Odoo development tutorials. So I have already told I have created the website form. So what I will do is that I'll just open this in a new tab. So I'll just open the website here, and let me go to the website in the new tab. So let's go to the website and see what we have there inside the website. So right now I have open the website, and here you can see we have got a new menu here, that is create patient. So if I click on the create patient menu, here you can see we have got a simple form of just two fields, that is asking your name and your email. Suppose if there is some case, so this is not the case in the hospital, so but we are, for illustrating this purpose, we are giving an option for patients to create their own records from the website portal. So suppose if we need to create some appointments or some things that has to be done from the website, so we have added a new menu so that it can be visible for the public users. And suppose if there need to create something in the Odoo database, so here we can there here, suppose in our case we are going to create a patient. So user will enter their name and they will specify their email ID, and once click on the submit button, what happens is it will create a record in the backend. So in the backend means if I go to the hospital menu, and here we have got a table to record the patient details. So if you check the URL, you can see the model name is hospital patient. So once you click on the submit button, it will create a record in this table, that is in the patient record. So currently in the hospital.patient model, we can see there is only two records, that is Odoo mates and John Doe. So let's see what happens if we enter something here and click on submit. So I'll enter the name as Odoo mates test, and I'll give the email as odoomates@gmail.com. So I have entered the name, that is Odoo mates test, and email is odoomates@gmail.com. So before clicking the submit button, you can see right now here only there is only two records. So I'll remove this filter, and here you can see if I go to the tree view, the total record count is 2. So let's see what happens if I click on the submit button. So if I click on the submit button, you can see thanks, your message has been sent successfully. And if I go back and if I reload the view, or I'll go back to the tree view and come back, so here you can see the number of record has been changed to 3, and here you can see Odoo mates test has been get created in the Odoo backend. So we have created a patient from the website. So let's see how we have done that. So for this purpose, we have added a form here. So I'll go to the PyCharm, and in the custom add-ons folder, so this is the custom add-ons folder where I am placing my custom modules. So inside this, you can see this is the OM hospital module which we are continuing our development. So yet if you haven't got this module, you can just download it from the Odoo app store or get it from our GitHub repository. So this is the OM hospital, and we have created separate different files. And for this purpose, that is for creating the form in the website, I have added a file inside or file under the views folder. So inside the views folder, and if I scroll down at the bottom here, you can see website form.xml file. So this is the new file that I have created for adding the website template, that is for creating a form in the website, and I have called this file inside the manifest file. So don't forget to call your XML files inside the manifest file. So here you can see in the data section, I have called the corresponding file views/website form.xml. So I have called that file inside the manifest file, and if I open the form, or if I open this XML file, what I have done is I have created three things. First of all, I have created a website menu. So there you can see website.menu. I will explain it later. And I have created a template where we have to enter patient name and patient email, and another page to display the thanks. That is what we have seen after click on the submit button, we have seen that your message has been sent successfully. So it has been coming from here. So in the XML side, I have created a menu, I have created a form, that is a template, and a page to show thank you details. So this is the three things that I have done inside the XML side. And in the Python level, I have in the controllers. So if I go to the controllers folder and if I take the main.py, here I have done two things. I have created two controllers. So the two controllers are, so first of all, I will explain. You have to create a main.py file. So if there is some people, you might not aware of how to create a controller, go to controller folder, call an init file. From init file you have to import this file, and inside this file you can see what I have done. What is our records? So http controller, you have to define a class, and I have given the class name as hospital and http.controller, and you have to import this, that is from Odoo import http, and if needed Odoo from odoo.http import request. So that's important, and I have created a class and of type http.controller, and here I have defined two controllers, and the one controller is for rendering the page. So on clicking the menu item, we have to load the page. One of the controller is for that purpose, for loading the page, and another one is for creating record in the Odoo backend. So let's start from first and one by one. So first of all, I have created a menu in the website. So this is the record that I'm creating in the menu. So here you can see the record ID is given as menu patient form 12. I have given the name like this, menu patient form 12. That 12 is come by something went wrong. So I have given an ID. You can give a ID as per your need, and as we are going to create a record inside the website.menu, you have to specify the model correctly, that is website.menu, and you can give a name. So I have given the name as create patient. So the menu has been visible here, that is create patient. So here you can see the P is small letter, so let's make it as a capital letter. So it will be camel case, so I'll change the create patient, and you have to specify the URL for the corresponding page. So here you can see I have given the URL as patient underscore web form. So corresponding URL will be shown here while clicking the corresponding page. Here you can see the URL is patient underscore web form. So the URL is given, and you can specify the parent ID. So normally for all the menus, we will give the parent ID as website.main menu unless it has to come under any menu. So right now I have to come it as a main menu. So I have specified the parent ID as website.main menu, and you can give a sequence based on it will display here. So I have given sequence as 55. You can give a sequence number accordingly. So this is the record by which we can create a menu inside the website. So that's done. So we have created a menu successfully with this code. Now we have to create a website form. So if you check here, this is the template where we are creating a form in the website. So here you can see the template ID is given as create patient, and the name is given as create patient itself, and it will, I think it will be shown here, that is create patient. So that's done, and you have to call the website layout. It will bring the styles to the page. The use of it I will show you later. And div ID wrap, class OE structure, and OE content. This thing you can give it as by default for the good looking of the website page. And inside this, that is after website.layout, div ID wrap, class OE structure, and class container, you are defining the form view. So here you can see the form. So here it comes the main part of the template. So here you can see the form, we are calling an action, that is on clicking this submit button, this action will get executed. So I will come to later, and the method is given as post. And inside this form, I have defined a CSRF token. So you can just copy this and give it as such. That is input type hidden name CSRF token T attribute value. You can give the line as such. And next we will define a field. So the field is the label I have given its input type as a text field. So I'm going to define a text field, and name is given as patient name, and T attribute value. The use of T attribute value I will discuss later, and let's discuss right now. The type is text. Then the field name I have given as patient name, and ID is also given as patient name. Class form control placeholder. So this placeholder will bring us. So if you go to that form, here you can see John Doe. So this is coming from placeholder, and if you need it is a required field, you can give required equal to required. So this is how you can simply create a input field inside the website. So here you can see your name. So let's change your name to name itself. Why we have to give your name? So name and email. Your instead of your email, you can give us email. So we have created an input field for entering the patient name. The type is text, name is given as patient name, and T attribute value patient name, ID is patient name, placeholder is given, required equal to true. And the next field is of type email. So here you can see input type is, instead of text I have given as input type is email. I have given the name as email ID, T attribute value email ID, and ID is email ID. and same class form control required equal to true. After adding two fields, I have added a submit button. So you can see button of type submit class and some classes. And if you need to change this submit button, so the name you are giving there, you will see here submit. So instead of submit, if you need to see as create patient, you can just change it here, create patient. So here you can see change it. So this is how simply we have created a form in the website. So let's see what happens if I upgrade the module. So right now what I have done, I have updated the patient name. So I have changed the small letter p to capital letter P, and your husband, your name, instead of your name I have renamed to name, as well as your email is changed to email, and submit button is renamed to create patient. So let's upgrade the module and see whether the changes will be reflected there. So I'll go to the apps menu, and from the apps menu I'll just upgrade the Odoo development tutorials module. So from here I'll just click on upgrade button, so that module will get upgraded. So if you haven't watched, or if you haven't subscribed the channel, please do click the subscribe button and like the video and get updated with all the upcoming videos. So you can see the module has been upgraded successfully. Now we will go to this tab and I'll just reload the screen to get those changes. So here you can see the still it's coming in the small letter. So what happens, so it might not get updated. Let me check. Not sure. So here you can see your name has been changed to name, email, your email has been changed to email, and submit button has been changed to create patient. So that has been done successfully. So that's done. Now we have created another thing here, that is a website dot page. So here you can see the model is website dot page, name is given as thanks, type is given as qf, and url is given. So I'll show you. So I'll just do one thing, I'll just create a new uh, Odoo, and Odoo at odoo.com. I'll create a new patient, and if I click on the create patient button, you can see we are getting a thanks page. Thanks, your message has been sent successfully, we will get back to you shortly. So this is coming from this page that we have created here. You can see your message has been sent successfully, we will get back to you shortly. Your appointment, or your the patient has been, I'll change the name, the patient has been created successfully, the patient has been created successfully, we will get back to you shortly. Come back, or I'll just update the visit hospital at any time. Visit hospital at any time. I'll just update the string at any time. So I'll just update the string here. So that's done. So this is the page which is responsible showing after creating the submit button. So here you can see uh, a key is given, and inside website layout is called, or div id wrap div class container is given, and simply inside this div you can just give a message. So that's what we have done here. So that's done. So this is what the three things that we have done inside the XML section. We have to create a menu, that is a menu to display the form. On clicking the form, so here you can see the URL is slash patient web form. So once you click on this menu, it will call, or it will check for the corresponding controller, that is slash web patient form, slash patient form. So if I go to the here, what happens, that is on clicking the create patient form, it will check for the corresponding controller. So here the controller is given as slash patient underscore web form. So it will go here, you can see the corresponding controller, that is slash patient web form. Type is HTTP, authorization is public. So I have already explained, we have got different authorization, that's all public, all users, etc. And we have already discussed that, and website is given as true, and I have given a function name. And what does this do is that, suppose if while we are clicking on this menu, it will call this controller, and from that controller we are rendering a page. So here you can see the page is omhospital.create patient. So omhospital is our module name, and the page is create patient. So if I am going to this file, you can see this id create patient. So we are rendering this page, that is this form, from the controller. So on clicking this menu, it will calls this controller, and from this controller we are rendering our page, that is create underscore patient page, which is this one, the form where we have to enter the patient details. So this is how the flows goes. And once we have reached here, the user will enter the name and email, and on clicking the submit button, so once user enter all the data, so user will enter all the data from here. So once clicking this, you can see, I'll just show you, I'll go to the home page, and I'll just do one thing, I'll just add a print statement here so that you will get better understanding. Print flow work code execution here, I'll just add a statement here, execution here. There is some spelling mistake. I'll just execution here. I just add a print statement, and I'll just reload the service or restart the service, as we have made changes inside the Python. So I have added a print statement here, and let's see what happens. So I'll clear the log, and I'll go to the Odoo UI and click on create patient button. And if we check the log, you can see it will get printed. So here you can see execution here. So on clicking the menu, the code or the execution comes here, and from here we are returning the page. So from here we have returned the page, that is this page, the form where we have to enter the details. And suppose user enter the name or like abcd and abcd at def.com. So enter. So you user have entered the name and email, and on clicking this create patient button, so what happens is, suppose user enter the details, and if you click on this submit button, that is create patient button, this action, so here you can see action create web patient, this controller will get called. So if I search for this controller, control, I will select this and I will click on control shift F. And if I search inside, let me remove this website support module which I have referred for this purpose, and if I search inside the Python, here you have the corresponding controller. So this is the second controller that I have created for this purpose. So on clicking the action button, that is submit button, this controller will get called, the controller that we have specified in the action. So on clicking the submit button, this controller will get created. And what I'm doing from here is that from this argument, that is and data received, I'll just update the string data received, and if I print the kw, I will receive all the inputs value entered by the user. So I'll just do one thing, I'll just show you. So on clicking the submit button, this controller will get called, that is create web patient, and I'll receive all the data entered by the user here. So I'll just reload, start the service, and let's see, I have restarted the service, and I will go to the UI and I will click on create patient button. And if I come back to the log and search here, you can see data received is, here you can see patient name is abcd, this is what user entered, and email id is abcd at def.com. So we have received the data user entered in the form. And you think, we will, I haven't done anything here, because here I can see the, I have given the name as the field name itself. So if I go to the Odoo backend, that is if I go to the hospital module, and if I open a new patient, and if I place the mouse over here, so first of all I will activate the debug mode. So what I have done is, I have just, for the form itself, I have given the field name. So here you can see this field name is patient name. So what I have done, for easy purpose, I have given the exact field name. So the name field is patient name, and the email field is email id. So what I have done is, for the website form, I have given the same field names, that is name equal to patient name, and id is patient name, etc. So that's an easy purpose. So if you give similar purpose, that is name is patient name and id is patient name, and for the email I have given name is email id, which is the similar backend field name, and id is email id is given. So we will receive a dictionary like this. So it is easy for me to create a vals here. So from here I have just received the dictionary. So using the same dictionary, I can create the record in the backend. So what I have done is request.env, I have called the corresponding model. So request.env hospital.patient is the corresponding module name or model name where I have to create the data. So here I have to create data in the this model, that is hospital.patient. So that's why I have called the corresponding model and sudo. So for there will be access permission, right now I haven't set any permission for the public user, that's why I use sudo. Actually sudo is not good to use in your code, you have to give public user the create permission. You can just do it from the access rights and create this. And what I have done is request.env model name dot sudo create, and I have passed this dictionary. So it will create a record in the backend with the given vals, and I will return after creating request.render. I'll render the thanks page which we have created here. So this is how the flows goes. So I think it has been understood for you, and I'll just, for a better understanding and for some changes, I'll show you another example. So right now we have created a record in which model, hospital or patient model. Suppose take a case, you have to create, instead of patient you have to create a doctor. So here you can see, suppose just to understanding, well, let's see how we can do that. Instead of creating a patient, we will create a doctor now. So you can see the model name is hospital.doctor. I'll copy this one. Or we can do one thing. On entering the data here, that is on entering the data here, we have to create a patient as well as a doctor. So let's see how we can do that. So for that purpose, here we have to change. That is, we have to make changes inside this controller which has been called during execution. So we have to create a record inside which model hospital.doctor, and in that case we cannot pass this kw directly, because here if you check the, I will expand the screen. If you check the doctor's model, you can see the field name of name is name, not patient name. So we have to change, create a dictionary of our own. I'll create a dictionary like this, Dr. Val equal to, I'll have to create a dictionary, and to the name I have to pass what I am getting from this kw dot get. From the kw it will be patient name, so I have to change this name. Inside the kw it will come the patient name, so I have to change the patient name to control z to map the patient name to name. So I have given Dr. Val as a dictionary, and name equal to what we are getting in the patient name, and I will pass this Dr. Val here. So that's done. So let's see what happens. So let's restart the service. So right now, by again clicking on the submit button, we will create a patient as well as a doctor. So let's test it and see whether it will be working correctly or not. Sudo is given Dr. Val. So let's go to the UI and let me John Matthew. I have given the name as John Matthew, and email is rdf at something like that I will give. And if you click on create patient, you can see it has been done successfully. Now let's go to the doctor record, and here you can see John Matthew has been created. That's fine. And if I go to the patients, and if I remove this filter, here also a John Matthew will be there. If I scroll down, here you can see HP 013 and John Matthew has been created. So this is how we can create. So right now, because as I have given the field name correctly, there is no need to create a dictionary. I can just pass directly for the patient with that. But for the doctor name, I have to map. That is, I have to take the dictionary, I have to take the value coming from the form and map it to the corresponding field names, and I have to pass it to the create method. So you can see we will get an understanding of that. And once it is created, we have for a thanking page, we have, if we go to here, you can see your message has been sent successfully. After changing this string here, I haven't updated the updated module, that's why you are not seeing this change. So let's test the ones that's also. So I have restarted service, and I'll go to the UI and I'll upgrade the module once more. So I'll go to the apps menu, and from the apps menu I'll just upgrade the module once more to see the changes that we have done in the XML page, that is thank you page. So you can see the module is getting upgraded. So if you feel the videos are helpful for you, you can just click the like button, and also you can refer the channel to your Odoo friends, so it will be useful for them also. So you can see the module has been got upgraded successfully. Now we will do one thing, we'll go to the create patient, and we will create one more patient and one more doctor. Let's enter some data, that is TTTT and some data. And if I click on the create patient, you can see the patient has been created successfully. The message has been updated, visit hospital at any time. And if I go to the backend, and if I go to the hospital menu, and if I check and if I remove the email filter, you can see the TTT has been created in the patient record, as well as if we go to the doctor, the TTT has been created. So that's all about how to create or how to handle it from the Python side. And if we go to the XML, and I'll just go to the XML, here you can see T attribute value. So I have in the start of value, I will explain, I told I will explain the use of T attribute value, patient name. And suppose while loading, suppose you can see if I go to the website form, here you can see create patient. By default the user is logged into the system. That is, suppose if you are creating this form inside the patient portal, the user will be already logged in. Suppose if a user is already logged in, and we have to bring his name here, that is, right now you can see the logged in user is Mitchell admin. So let's see how we can show the Mitchell admin, the name Mitchell admin by default here. So let's see which we can be done that. So it can be done using the T attribute value. And if I go to the main.py file, and here you can see we are passing an empty dict, and using the empty inside this empty dictionary, we if we need to pass any default values, we can do that. So here I will go, and I'll patient name, to the patient name I will pass Odoo mates as a default value. Odoo mates test 1 2 3 as a default value. So this is the page or this is the controller which gets called on clicking the menu. Along with the rendering page, we are passing some default values. Here you can see patient name. So this patient name I have given in the t attribute value. So to that field, we have to get this value, that is Odoo test 123. So I'll just restart the service once more. So the service has been restarted as I have made changes inside the Python. And let me go to the Odoo UI, and if I click on the create patient button, the view will get reloaded, and let's see the change. So you can see it's loading, and here you can see by default name it's coming as Odoo test 123. So like this, right now I have hard codedly given the value as Odoo 123. Instead you can just get the username and pass or show there. So that's all about this one. And we have what we have done so far in this video is we have created a new menu, that is new website menu, and we have created a template that is for entering the form user details. And this is the thank you page controller which shows after clicking the submit button. So these are the three things that we have done inside the XML section, and we have called this file inside the manifest file. So that's all what we have done inside the XML section. And in the Python side, we have created two controllers, that is one for entering the page and other one for to execute while submitting the data. So that's all about this video. Hope you will like the video. We will update this codes only in the Odoo app store. You can, so that you can just get it from there. So if you like the video, please do click the like button and subscribe the channel to get notified regarding all the updates. Thank you.